Hi guys, welcome to our exclusive Team Rogue interview with myself, Edwin today, and the Malaysia Masterball League first runner-up, Mr. Nicky.
Hi guys.
So today we'll be having a very casual interview with Nick, mainly on his experience in the recent Malaysia Masterball competition, and of course, in terms of his preparations for Worlds in August this year, right? So Nick, just a very casual question to open things up. What got you into the Pokemon TCG game in the first place?
I was an old player back then, around early 2000s. We all were once upon a time. And then I got back into the game somewhere around 2020 after COVID. Started off as a collector, then I found out that there were games going on. Hey, the game is still alive, so I came back into it, took baby steps, and then here we are today.
Yeah, so I think one thing that I just want to point out to the viewers out there, just so that they're aware, is that usually in other countries, probably like in America or even in Japan and things like that, a lot of the top and successful players who win major competitions are usually players that have been in the game for around 8 to 10 years. So it's really, really impressive that Nick has been playing for what, 3 to 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So that's really, really impressive. So how do you feel not just making to the finals of the Malaysia Masterball League, but making it for the second time in back-to-back years?
I think it was a really surreal experience. I seriously did not expect to get there, but we go into the tournament, we make our preparations, we get into the game, we do our best, took it game after game, and here I am again.
Yeah, which is really impressive. Are there any different feelings or emotions the second time around? So for example, last year when you make it to the finals, when you're at the stage on live stream actually, I'm pretty sure you were nervous back then, right? Last year. But this time around, second time when you reach the finals again, are you maybe more prepared in terms of emotions because like you've been here before, or are you equally nervous?
Definitely a little bit nervous, but I think I managed to pull myself together because after all, we're just playing Pokemon TCG.
Yeah.
We're playing against a player, and then it's just people are looking, but then they're not there. It's at that moment, it's just you and your opponent and the board.
Yeah.
So I just kept my focus there and went on with the game.
Yeah. I think probably one of the main factors why you were probably not so nervous this time around must be due to the fact that you have done tons and tons of preparation, right? So in terms of preparations, what sort of preparations have you done so far? I mean, not so far, but leading up to the Malaysia Masterball League this time, right?
So for this time, I think my team, Team Monkey and the guys, they helped a lot in terms of gathering some statistics. Statistics on meta share and success rate, and then the variety of decks that are around in the meta nowadays, and also playtesting. Playtesting was really important. Helped me, get a feel of the matchups, especially when there's a lot of Gardevoirs and Dragapults, BDIF, undoubtedly. So I think the extra practice helped a lot.
Right. So like you mentioned, Dragapult and Gardevoir are the two undoubted meta decks, right? Probably the BDIFs in the current format. So what made you choose a so-called non-meta deck, or like a spicy deck, your Poison Roaring?
The first reason would be to avoid Budew Wars.
Yeah.
I don't want to go and get in the game and like Budew each other for like 10 turns.
Yeah.
I think 25 minutes in BO1 is definitely not enough for that. So I decided to go a different route, try to use the Poison package. Poison package, which is kind of a bit of a hack. You go into BO1, you get a bit of luck, set up, bam. That's the game. And then I also like the versatility of the deck. There is definitely more than one way to win the game. So and it felt like a toolbox.
Exactly.
My favorite Lost Zone box, which has unfortunately rotated, but
Right.
I like the feel.
Yeah. So I think what Nick mentioned is true, and which not many decks can actually do. So like, I believe your deck can probably win in turn 1 going first. You can probably, not really donk, but you can really end the game probably in turn 2 as well if you go second, and then you can also retreat lock them to win the game. So there are so many avenues to win a game, which what make the deck really, really interesting. So did the current format in the Malaysian Masterball League being BO1, is that also a factor in deciding to choose a poison deck that can probably dong in turn one?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. I mean, if in a BO1 anything can happen, so we're gonna put a little bit of luck factor in the game, and then we try to go for that win. The win is the win at the end of the day.
Right. So speaking of BO1, you'll be going to Worlds again this year, which will be BO3 from day 1 to day 2, which is a format that we Malaysians are not really accustomed to. What different preparation, or maybe what similar preparations will you do this time around? Because you also made it to Worlds and qualified for Worlds last year, right? And I believe you got a score of 4-4 in day 1. So obviously you want to do a lot better this time around. So are there any changes in terms of preparation, or?
In terms of preparation, I think I'm gonna need a little bit more testing this time around because like the meta is so diverse now. There's so many mix of elements. Gardevoir with Zorak, Archaludan Zorak, Dango with Pelt. So I'm gonna need to do a little bit more homework on this kind of decks. And also not to forget that we also have Team Rocket coming up. SV10, that is pretty much going to be a game changer. So we wait until then to see how it goes, but still, yes, preparation is key.
So like you said, the Team Rocket set's coming out, and probably by Worlds there's probably another set that's going to come out 10.5, right? So despite that, have you probably have any prospective decks that you're looking into that probably you want to test and see whether it's going to be looking out for Worlds, or?
I probably will have a look at the Team Rocket archetype. I think there's a lot of possibilities there. Whether it's going to be a pure Team Rocket or a Team Rocket hybrid, I definitely have to explore that one first.
That's right. What are your thoughts in terms of, because I mean we Malaysians, like I said earlier, we are so used to BO1 format, right? So what are your thoughts on the differences between BO1 and BO3 as a player? How do you get yourself ready and to transition from a BO1 format to a BO3 format?
For BO1 and BO3 deck constructs, I think it's a little bit different because in BO3 you have a second chance. If you can't make it for the first game, you can scoop, try again in the second game, right? So no point pushing it. And having said that, in BO3 you can either go 2 routes. You can either go full high roll, or you can go consistent. Because for example, if you go high roll, if it just doesn't happen,
definitely,
and move on to the next game, hey, you might just win the next 2. Or you just go the consistent route for BO3. And if you were to refer that to BO1, I think for BO1 we will need a balance between BO1 and BO3 style decks.
That's right.
Because there is no second chance.
Exactly. You
need that consistency, but you also need to have that burst. So you need to consider that.
That's right. Very, very insightful answers from Nikki in terms of how he achieved what he recently achieved. So in terms of the Pokemon TCG scene in general in Malaysia, what are your thoughts on the current climate of the scene? Because I mean, obviously the scene is really growing at a very rapid pace at the moment. What are your thoughts on that, and how can the Malaysian scene grow even bigger?
I think right now, I have to agree that the scene is getting really big. There's a lot of new players coming in, and they're improving really quick. I mean, I see a lot of new faces getting good results. 7-2 top cut. It's good to see. It's good to see that people are picking up the game at a really rapid pace. In terms of new player base, I think as they get into the game, they learn about the shops. They want to play physically. They go to shops. They attend league battles and gym battles. So when they meet each other, they make friends. It's really important, right? So we make friends, we build a community, we learn from each other, and we improve as a whole to improve the entire scene of the game.
Definitely. And that is insofar as the Pokemon TCG scene in Malaysia is concerned. But how about aspiring players who wants to be like you, who do not want to take 8 to 10 years to win a major event, or even to reach the final to a major event? They want to do it within, let's say, 2 to 3 years. What are your advice to them? What maybe in terms of playtesting or deck choices or things like that? What are your advice to them?
I think you probably need to do a little bit of homework, and like you said, playtesting and practice, discussions. They all they all are little factors that come together to bring you the results. And I mean, like, results don't say everything. It's great to have consistency. I mean, like, some people maybe get upset. It will be, a little bit, how do you say, down if they don't perform. Like, I've been playing for this long and this long, I haven't gotten it. But no, it's not a measure of
definitely
a player's ability.
Especially when there's luck involved also.
Yes, there's luck involved in the game. So, I think it's great to see some consistency. We should be proud of ourselves, to bring ourselves to like, hey, I did consistent. I didn't make top cut, but I consistently get good results. So that matters. Keep it up. Your day will come.
Yeah, I think just to to bring up a good example. Not to bring this up, I think in PBL you didn't. The recent PBL, I think Nicky himself didn't do so well, but he quickly, bounced back, right? So I think that's what Nicky was talking about in terms of how you shouldn't let one bad event pull you down and demotivate you. And if you were to put your focus in, you can quickly bounce back, and that's how I think Nicky achieved what he achieved today, right? So one final personal question that I have for you, Nicky, is an advice that I'll be seeking from you actually. So like for me, when I enter all these huge major events, right, I'm always focusing on trying to cook something spicy and something that's usually off meta. And usually what happens is after the tournament, I'll immediately regret and be asking myself, why did I not play all these meta decks? If I were to play these meta decks, I probably would have gotten this far. So what advice you have gotten from me? I think this issue is probably called stubbornness on my part.
If I were to give advice, but first of all, I would like to say that I salute your effort, in having the courage and the creativity to cook this kind of decks, to come up with a whole new, different view to the game and ideas. It's really great. I mean, like, even I would have, I like ideas like this, but I've never had the courage to do what you did. So, how was it again?
What advice would you give me to pull me out of it?
Right. I think your ideas are really good. It's really a changing point. Your spice could be the spice that wins the game. But you could, if I were to give advice, I think you could probably mix up something from the top meta with something of your liking from your kitchen. You can cook something up, and probably that will be the difference that will bring you true success.
Right. Yeah, that is an advice I would definitely adhere to as much as possible. But I think that speaks volumes on the beauty of the Pokemon TCG game, right? Because sometimes some players, they do not want to put in all their effort just to win a competition. A lot of them want to do it for fun. They want to play very casually, and they probably want to introduce all these kind of spicy decks. And this is on top of the other players, or the other people rather, that are collectors who merely wants to collect as well. So I think that is why the Pokemon TCG game is growing, not just in Malaysia but in the entire world, because there's so many things you can do in the game, right? So I think with that, we wrap up our interview session for today. Thank you so much, Nicky, for your very insightful inputs on the game. We'll definitely take it to heart, and hopefully the viewers out there can really take up all the advices that was given by Nicky, right? Thanks so much, Nick.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.